Well, it's June 16th. It's kind of a crappy day out today. It rained all night, and we're supposed to get some more rain. But I did have a chance to pull this out, and as you can see on the ground, I got a little sandblasting done today. So I just did the real bad areas that I thought needed to be hit with some sand. And I've got the world's cheapest sandblaster, but it actually works surprisingly well. If this is like a Harbor Freight, just cheap. You just throw sand in there. The thing I find is as long as you keep this over half full and make sure you have a lot of moisture control on the gun, I find that it does a fairly good job. I wouldn't want to do a whole car with it or anything, but it doesn't do a bad job at all. Problem is, there's the back side of my patches. Yeah, they're not the best, and I will probably fill that in with something. I'm just not sure what, or I could weld the back side of it. Problem is, it's kind of a crappy day, and I don't want to prime today. It's supposed to rain, and I don't want to prime in the garage. You can see what kind of mess I made already today. It's going to take me a couple hours to clean up. And I did wipe it down with regular store-bought wax and grease remover. In fact, I put it in a spray bottle over there and then wiped it down with towels. There's my respirator mask. Anytime you're sandblasting, you want to make sure you have one of those on, because that silica stuff is just nasty on the lungs. But it looks pretty good, and what I'm going to do is, and I kind of hemmed and hawed over it, and I got on the internet and I looked, I'm going to hit it with this Rust Kutter. It's like a navel jelly. It's, what is it, some type of acid, I don't know, like a phosphate something acid. That's supposed to be a rust inhibitor, coater. So I'm going to hit the spots I sandblasted with that, and in case there's any deep pits or anything in here, hopefully it'll get into there. And I did an experiment over here, and I didn't prepare this at all or anything like that, but I hit it twice with that stuff, and it kind of left this white film on there that you can wipe off, but underneath there you can definitely tell that it ate away at the rust and left a protective coating. So I'm going to hit it with this Rust Kutter to make sure that it gets any little bit of rust that I didn't get, and then I'll sand it all down again, and I will definitely let you guys know how that stuff works, because I'm a little leery on using it, but I think I'm gonna give it a shot. So that's about all I'm gonna do today. Well, I hosed it down with that Rust Kutter, and you can see it's already starting to make the metal a little bit darker, and hopefully it should turn it all black. But I'm gonna have to let that dry for a day in the garage, and then I'll clean it some more, sand it, and get it ready for prime. Well, today's the 17th, and I'll show you, I put that rust converter stuff on. You can see how it turned the bare metal where there was rust that I had sandblasted, and I sprayed it. It kind of converted it. In some places it made it black, in other places it kind of leaves this almost like a yellow-white film on it. So what I did was, I didn't have a lot of time today before work, so I'm going to do this in 3 sections. Obviously this is going to be the rear is going to be the first section done, primed anyway, and then I'll do the tower, and then maybe the front section, or the front section, and then maybe the tower. Tower's going to take the most work. I sanded it all down with 180, and I put that wax and grease remover in a spray bottle and gave it a bath. So it actually turned out pretty well. Now, just so people know, this isn't going to be a show tractor. This is like going to be a workhorse, and I wanted a really, really, really tough paint job. So I'm using this primer. It's an oil-based metal primer, and it actually seals. So I can spray it with this primer, and it can sit in the garage for 3 months, and I don't have to worry about it rusting, because this is an oil-based primer, and it's going to seal. But if you see, if I can get in, I don't know how close I can get in here. My sand job wasn't perfect by any means. As I say, I'm not a very good painter. I didn't know exactly what it was going to look like, but there is some imperfections in that. So that's why it's good to practice with the frame. Most of this you're not going to be able to see, but these parts on the side right here, I'm going to try to, the filler primer will stick to this, so I'm going to probably spray the parts you're going to see with filler primer, and then go over it with 400 or 600 grit wet sanding paper. So as I say, ideally if you were making a show tractor, you would have hit it with 120, 220, and then 320, and that would have come out pretty darn smooth for you. I, on the other hand, hit it with 180, and because I like the deeper gouges and scratches in it, because the primer's really going to take a bite to that. Because I'm going to be able to drop a hammer on this and not have to worry about it chipping. So, as I say, I got from about here back done, the tower back. And I'm going to call it quits for the day because I've got to go to work. So hopefully maybe get a little bit more done tomorrow and a little bit done the next day. Just chip away at it. So, but it's starting to come. Oh, I did paint the... I did get the front axle painted, and it turned out pretty nice. Now that's cast, and it's really rough to begin with, so basically there's not a lot of sanding. I sandblasted the whole thing, and then wiped it down with the wax and grease remover, and hit it with 2 coats of primer, and I'm pretty happy with it. So I think it's going to be nice. I am going to replace the Zerks on it. I left them in just so I didn't paint in the holes there. But there's 3 Zerks on it, which will be getting replaced. So that part's done. Get the frame done. Then I will go to the rear axle. You see that being a pain in the ass to clean right now, even though I've done some of it. Then goes to the tires and rims. I was looking at the tires. I don't know which ones I think are the best. These are a pretty darn good tire on this one right here. I kind of like these little bit bigger lugs on the outside corner. Whereas this one has almost a straight turf tire. So I don't know, decisions. Well, I got lots of time. So, and here's I still haven't cleaned up the sand from the sandblaster. It's absolutely horrible. It looks like a beach out here. So, all right, talk to you guys later.